Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well today. Thank you so much for liking the video, sharing the videos, and of course subscribing. We do appreciate it so much, and hopefully the viewers will become subscribers eventually. So today we're going to be speaking about the stars of Stepney. So Stepney is a district in the parish of St. Anne. And St. Anne, as you know, this is where the legend Bob Marley was born. And he attended the Stepney All-Age School. Back then it was called Stepney All-Age School. It has been renamed a couple times, but right now it is called the Bob Marley Primary and Junior High School. That's the last name change. Prior to that, it was Stepney Primary. So Stepney is a district in the parish of St. Anne. Stepney School services quite a few districts in the area, including 9 Miles, where Bob Marley was born. School. It has been renamed a couple times, but right now it is called the Bob Marley Primary and Junior High School. That's the last name change. Prior to that, it was Stepney Primary. So Stepney is a district in the parish of St. Anne. We're going to feature the stars of Stepney. So St. Anne is the largest parish in Jamaica. It is situated on the north coast of the island in the county of Middlesex, roughly halfway between the eastern and the western ends of the island. It is often called the Garden Parish of Jamaica on account of its natural floral beauty. So you can imagine how beautiful this place is, being born and raised in it, and you get to roam the hills, the valleys, the fields, the byways, the rivers, the mountains, big playground. So it must have been wonderful to grow up in this parish, right? The garden capital of Jamaica. So we're going back to Stepney because back then, before it got the name changes, it was Stepney All Age, and then it went to Stepney Primary, and then we see it change to Bob Marley Primary and Junior High. So we're going to feature 3 stars from Stepney School because it had so many different changes. And of course, while the older artists were there, it was Stepney All Age. And then, of course, the younger ones, it would have been Stepney Primary. So we're going to start with Romain Virgo. So he's the youngest of my feature artists today, and he would have attended when it was Stepney Primary. He's a famous artist, all grace the hallways of the Stepney School. Of course, they played on the playfield of Stepney School. They would have walked on the same path going to the school, on the same pathways going into the school. They would have probably even used the same tap and maybe possibly the same areas for outdoor activities and all of that, and for gathering as well, like the same auditorium or the same space where they would have gathered. So the first one that we're going to talk about is Romain Virgo. He's the youngest, as I mentioned, of the 3, and he was born on January 24th, 1990. Of course, he's Jamaican, and he specializes in lovers rock style of reggae music, and he is a past competitor in the local music competition Rising Stars. 2007, Romain Virgo made history as the youngest contestant ever to win Digicel Rising Stars, Jamaica's talent competition, at the age of 17. Romain Virgo was sensational throughout the 2007 competition, and he outshone his opponents with his singing skills that seems to stretch beyond the talent of a 17-year-old. His career is now thriving. Romain Virgo manages to build his musical career while still doing a 5-year bachelor's degree in performance at the Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts in Kingston, studying for a major in voice and minor in keyboard. This education assures that Romain's performance will be different from others. Featured on Rebel Salute and many other major shows held in Jamaica. With hard work, Romain is taking it one step at a time. Throughout his career, Romain Virgo has won numerous awards, including 5 Youth View Awards for Best Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year from 2014 to 2018. He has also been nominated for Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album for both Soul Provider and Lovesick. Romain Virgo is one of Jamaica's most talented artists with a successful career spanning over a decade. His unique blend of reggae, dancehall, and lovers rock make him stand out from other artists on the scene, while his powerful vocals captivate audiences all over the world. So the next star from Stepney is no other than Bunny Wailer. Neville Livingston, otherwise known as Bunny Wailer, was born in Kingston, Jamaica, April 10th, 1947. He was born to Thaddeus Livingston, a rum shop proprietor known as Toddy, and his wife Margaret, but grew up in the same rural village 9 Mile as his childhood friend Bob Marley. So Cedella Booker and Thaddeus Livingston had a child together, and her name is Pearl Livingston. So Bunny Wailer and Bob Marley shared a sister. He attended the Stepney All-Age School with Bob Marley back in the early 50s. He was born in Kingston, but he went back to 9 Mile and he was there for a little time, then he returned back to Kingston. So he met Bob Marley at the school, Stepney All-Age School. His full name is Neville O'Reilly Livingston, Order of Merit, Order of Jamaica. He was born April the 10th, 1947, and he passed away March 2nd, 2021. Known professionally as Bunny Wailer, was a Jamaican singer-songwriter and percussionist. He was an original member of the reggae group The Wailers, along with Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. A 3-time Grammy Award winner, he is considered one of the long-time standard bearers of reggae music. He was also known as Jabi, Bunny O'Reilly, and Bunny Livingston. He spent his earliest years in the village of 9 Mile in St. Anne. It was there that he first met Bob Marley, and the two young boys befriended each other quickly. When Bob Marley migrated to Kingston, met Bunny Wailer in Trenchtown, and they formed the Wailing Wailers in 1963, with, of course, Peter Tosh being a part of the Wailers. Bunny Wailer toured with the Wailers in England and the United States, but soon became reluctant to leave Jamaica. Bunny Wailer left the group in 1973 and adopted the name Bunny Wailer in the pursuit of a solo career. Bunny Wailer won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album 3 times, in 1991 for the album Time Will Tell, a tribute to Bob Marley, and in 1995 for Crucial, Roots Classic, and in 1997 for Hall of Fame, a tribute to Bob Marley's 50th birthday. He also featured on the album True Love by Toots and the Maytals, which won the Grammy Award in 2004 for Best Reggae Album. In October 2018, Bunny Wailer suffered a minor stroke, resulting in speech problems. After suffering another stroke in July 2020, he was hospitalized at the St. Andrew's Memorial Hospital in Kingston, Jamaica, where he eventually died on March 2nd, 2021, at the age of 73 of complications from the stroke he suffered the previous year. One of his most famous songs, Electric Boogie, also known as the Electric Slide, is a dance song written and originally recorded in 1976 with Bunny Wailer. And of course, we know that it was also done by the Queen, Marcia Griffiths. We have the biggest star of the three, which is Robert Nesta Marley, Order of Merit. He was born on February 6, 1945, and he passed away on May 11, 1981. He was a Jamaican reggae singer, guitarist, and songwriter, and considered one of the pioneers of the genre. Marley attended Stepney All-Age School. He was living in the district of 9 Mile, and he had to walk to school. The Stepney All-Age School serviced all the children in these surrounding districts, including 9 Mile, and it was at Stepney All-Age School where Bob Marley met Bunny Wailer. Bob Marley's parents got married on Friday, June the 9th, 1944, in 9 Mile. So Norval Marley and mother Cedella Malcolm Marley, and of course she became Mrs. Marley. Before Bob Marley was even born, his parents were separated. So Norval was a supervisor for Crown Lands. Cedella Malcolm was the daughter of a local custos and farmer. Bob Marley came to Kingston approximately age 13 with his mother. Well, his mother migrated to Kingston first. Of course, she went back for her son. In the late 50s, she went back for her son. He would have been approximately 13 years old at the time. So we know that he was born in 1945. They came to Kingston in the late 50s. And of course, they lived several places before they ended up in Trench Town. Of course, as I mentioned previously, Bob Marley met up again with Neville Livingston in Trench Town. In December of 1963, the Wailers entered Sir Coxsone Dodd's Studio One facilities to cut Simmer Down, a song by Bob Marley that he had used to win a talent contest in Kingston. Bob Marley and the Wailers signed in 1972 with the international label Island Records. And in the mid-70s, he started to achieve superstardom across the globe. So let's look at Bob Marley's albums in chronological order. So the first one is the Wailing Wailers, and that was released in 1965. Soul Rebel was released in 1970. Soul Revolution Part 2, and that was released in 1971. The Best of the Wailers, released in 1971. Catch a Fire, released in 1973. Burning, released in 1973. Natty Dread, released in 1974. Bob Marley and the Wailers Live, released in 1975. Rastaman Vibration was released in 1976. Exodus was released in 1977. And Kaya was released in 1978. Babylon by Boss was released in 1978. Survival was released in 1979. Uprising was released in 1980, and Confrontation was released in 1983. Legend was released in 1984. Bob Marley passed away on May 11th, 1981 from cancer. So just to give you a brief history of St. Anne, under the English rule, Santa Anna was soon renamed St. Anne's Bay after Lady Anne Hyde, the first wife of King James II of England. There has been some historical controversy regarding this, as some have stated that the name Santa Anna was the anglicized form of St. Anne's Bay. St. Anne is one of the oldest populated areas in the island of Jamaica. tracing back to 600 to 650 AD. It is believed to be the earliest Taino-Arawak settlement in Jamaica. When Christopher Columbus came to Jamaica in 1494, he landed on the shores of St. Anne at Discovery Bay. The district of Stepney most likely was named after Stepney in London, England. New Saville is where the island's first capital can be found, a mile west of the town of St. Anne's Bay. So Jamaica's first capital was located in the parish of St. Anne, and it is the largest parish in Jamaica.